I am Lisa.
And I'm Eric. Do you want to improve your English easily? If so, you're in the right place.
Okay, today we'll listen to a podcast about how to think English.
Let's listen to it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Emma. Today, we're talking about something really important for English learners, thinking in English.
Yes, Emma? Many learners translate in their heads. They think in their first language and then translate to English. But to speak fluently, we need to think directly in English.
It sounds difficult, but it's possible, and it makes a big difference. So, in this podcast, we'll bring up some simple exercises to start thinking in English. Let's begin.
Okay, let's start with our first tip. Practice thinking in English with simple exercises. You can begin with your daily routine.
Exactly. For example, when you make coffee in the morning, tell yourself in English what you are doing. Think things like, I'm making coffee, I'm adding sugar, or the coffee is hot. Just describe your actions in your mind using English.
Yes, it's like talking to yourself silently in English. Another easy activity is to describe the weather or what you see. If it's raining outside, think, it's raining outside, or it's a luxury red car. Simple sentences about what you see and do every day.
You can also practice by imagining things. Dream a little in English. For example, imagine you want to travel to London. Think, what if I travel to London? I'd visit Big Ben first. Then I would go to a museum. Make little scenarios in your head using English and speak them loudly.
That's a fun way to practice. And another great exercise is to keep a daily English. You don't need to write long stories. Just write short sentences about your feelings or what happened during the day. Today was a really good day, or I went to the park.
Even just a few sentences in English each day in a journal can help you start thinking in English more naturally. So, start small with your daily routine, imagination, and a simple English journal.
Our next tip is about how you learn new words and phrases. It's better to learn with context, not just single words.
Context means learning words in sentences or situations. Don't just memorize a list of words like apple, book, table. Instead, learn phrases and sentence patterns.
Ah, I see. So, instead of just learning the word water, learn the phrase, can I have a glass of water?
Exactly. When you learn phrases, you learn how words are used together. It's much more useful for speaking. Another great way to learn in context is to imitate what you hear and read.
Like from movies or songs?
Yes. If you watch a movie, repeat some lines you like. If you listen to a song, sing along. Pay attention to how native speakers say things in podcasts too. Try to copy their intonation and rhythm.
That sounds like fun. Are there other ways to practice learning in context, Emma?
Yes. Try talking to yourself in English in front of a mirror. It might feel a bit strange at first, but it helps. You can practice using new phrases and see how they feel in your mouth.
Our third tip is about developing instant reactions in English. This is about thinking quickly in English without translating.
Yes, to speak fluently, you need to react quickly. One way to practice this is to ask yourself simple questions in English and answer them immediately in English.
Like what kind of questions?
Simple questions about yourself. For example, ask yourself, what did I do yesterday? And then try to answer in English. Yesterday, I went to work, then I had dinner at home.
So it's like having a quick conversation with yourself in English.
Exactly. Another good exercise is to practice speaking under a little time pressure. For example, choose a topic like my favorite hobby and try to talk about it in English for 30 seconds.
30 seconds? That's not long.
No, but it's enough to push you to think fast in English. When you have a time limit, you don't have time to translate in your head. You have to use the English you know right away. This helps you develop faster reactions in English.
Agreed, Emma. Okay, our next tip is about exposing your brain to English. This is like surrounding yourself with English, even when you're not actively studying.
Think of it like this. You want your brain to get used to the sound and rhythm of English, even in the background. One easy way to do this is with passive listening.
Passive listening? What's that?
It means listening to English without focusing hard on understanding every word. You can put on English podcasts or radio in the background while you are doing other things like cooking, cleaning, or driving.
Our fifth tip is about grammar. Should we focus a lot on grammar rules when we want to think in English?
Actually, when thinking in English, it's better to prioritize feeling the language rather than just focusing on grammar rules all the time.
Feeling the language? What does that mean exactly?
It means getting a sense of what sounds natural in English, even if you don't know all the grammar rules. Think about natural phrases and patterns. For example, when someone asks, "How are you?" Component placement. The automatic natural response is, "I'm fine, thanks."
Our last tip is about being patient and taking small steps. At the end of the day, learning to think in English takes time.
Yes, it's not going to happen overnight. Be patient with yourself. Don't get discouraged if you still find yourself translating in your head sometimes. It's a process. The key is to keep practicing consistently and at a moderate pace, even in small amounts.
Small steps are important.
Very important. Try the 5-minute rule. Every day, force yourself to think or speak in English for just 5 minutes. That's it. Just 5 minutes of focused English thinking or speaking.
Okay, so to sum up, thinking in English is key to fluency. Start with simple exercises, learn in context, practice reacting quickly, expose yourself to English, and prioritize feeling the language.
Stop translating, be patient, and take small steps every day. Thinking in English is a skill you can develop with practice.
Start today, and you'll be speaking English more fluently and confidently before you know it.
Thanks for joining us on Think English, Speak Easy.
See you next time.
Bye for now.
Well, what do you think about the podcast, Eric?
I think their tips were really helpful, especially the one about describing your daily routine in English, like, "I'm making toast," "I'm spreading butter," and so on. It feels a bit strange at first, but I think it helps.
Agreed. It seems a very useful method to get used to speaking English automatically.
Yes, it will help you speak without translating your own language.
Definitely. All right, let's start our podcast. What are the words today, Eric?
The first word today is moderate. Then we will continue with right away and to prioritize. Then bring up something. And the final one is at the end of the day.
Let's start with the first word.
The first word is moderate.
Moderate.
Moderate is an adjective that means not too much and not too little. It describes something that is in the middle, not too extreme. For example, if the weather is moderate, it's not too hot and not too cold, just comfortable.
That sounds nice. Can we use moderate to describe other things?
Absolutely. Here are a few more examples. A moderate amount of sugar in your tea means not too sweet, but not tasteless. If a person has moderate opinions, they are not too extreme. They are balanced and reasonable.
So if I eat moderate amounts of chocolate, that means I don't eat too much, but I still enjoy some?
Yes, exactly. Everything in moderation is good.
Oh, moderation is the noun form, right?
Yes. Moderation means keeping things balanced. Not too much, not too little. People often say, everything in moderation.
I love that phrase. It means we can enjoy things, but not too much.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about formality. Moderate is a neutral word, so you can use it in both formal and informal situations. I like moderate weather in a casual conversation, or the company is looking for a candidate with moderate experience in a job interview.
I think moderate is a useful word for everyday life.
That's right, Lisa. And remember, learning is best in moderation. A little every day helps a lot.
So that's moderate. Shall we move on to the next word?
Let's do that. The next phrase is right away.
Right away.
Right away is a phrase that means immediately or without waiting. When you do something right away, you do it at once.
Yes. For example, if your boss says, "Please send the email right away," it means you should send it now, without delay.
Exactly. Here's another example. I was very hungry, so when the food arrived, I ate it right away. This means I started eating immediately when the food came.
Here's one more. My friend called me, and I answered right away. That means I picked up the phone as soon as it rang.
A quick tip. Right away is often used with verbs like do, go, answer, or start. You can say, "I'll do it right away," or "come here right away." And it's very common in spoken English, especially when giving instructions or responding quickly.
So, right away is a great phrase to use when you want to say immediately. Try using it when making requests or talking about quick actions. Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the phrase right away. Let's move on to the next word.
The next word is prioritize.
Prioritize.
Prioritize is a verb. It means to decide what is the most important and do that first.
So, if you have a lot of things to do, you have to prioritize. You need to choose what is most important and start with that.
Exactly. Let's look at an example. Imagine you have homework, a soccer game, and a TV show to watch. What should you prioritize?
I think homework is the most important. So, I should prioritize my homework first?
Yes. You can say, "I need to prioritize my homework before I play soccer or watch TV."
So, when we prioritize, we put important things first.
That's right. Here's another example. At work, a boss might say, "Let's prioritize the big project before smaller tasks."
Oh, that means the big project is the most important. Or yesterday, I prioritized my English homework before watching a movie.
Perfect. And we can also use it with need to. For example, you need to prioritize your health.
That means health is important.
Yes. And one more thing, prioritize is more common in formal or work situations. In casual speech, people might just say, "Do the important things first."
Good tip. So, listeners, what do you prioritize in your daily life?
Think about it and try using prioritize in a sentence today.
Okay. Well, I think now our listeners understand the word prioritize better. Let's move on to our next word.
The next word is bring up something.
Bring up something.
To bring up something means to mention or talk about a topic.
So, if you bring up something, you start talking about it.
Exactly. Here's an example. During the meeting, my boss brought up a new project.
That means the boss started talking about the new project.
Yes. Here's another one. Imagine you are at dinner with your family. Your brother says, "Mom, I want a new phone." So he is bringing up the topic of a new phone.
Let me give one example. Yesterday, she brought up a great idea in class. It means she started to talk about a great idea in class.
Perfect. And we can also say, "I don't want to bring up that problem again." That means you don't want to talk about it. And one more thing. Bring up is informal. In formal situations, people might say mention instead.
Okay, well, that's all for word bring up. Let's move on to the last word. What is the last word, Eric?
The last word is at the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day is an idiom. It means when everything is considered or after everything else. We use it to show the final or most important point.
So it's a way of saying, after everything is said and done, this is what really matters.
Exactly. Let's hear an example. Imagine you and your friends are discussing where to go for dinner. Some want pizza, some want sushi, and some want burgers. After a long discussion, someone might say, "At the end of the day, We just want to eat something delicious and have a good time together.
Oh, I see. So, after considering all the different opinions, the most important thing is enjoying the meal together.
Yes. Another common situation is at work. Imagine you're working on a big project, and there are different ideas about how to do it. Your boss might say, "At the end of the day, we need to finish this project on time and make sure our client is happy."
That makes sense. It means that after all the discussions and small details, the most important goal is meeting the deadline and keeping the client satisfied.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about formality. This phrase is quite neutral. You can use it in both casual and professional situations, but it's more common in spoken English than in formal writing.
Got it. And grammar-wise, this phrase usually comes at the beginning or end of a sentence, right?
Yes. For example, at the end of the day, family is what matters most. We may have different opinions, but at the end of the day, we're on the same team.
I like it. It's a useful phrase when you want to sum up the main point of a discussion. Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the phrase, "at the end of the day" better. Well, that's it for today's episode of Simply Explained English. We hope you found the words helpful and the explanations easy to understand.
Thanks for listening.
Keep studying your English. I am Lisa.
And I'm Eric. Do you want to improve your English easily? If so, you're in the right place.
Okay, today we'll listen to a podcast about daily English practices.
Let's listen to it.
Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome back to Easy English Talk. I'm Emma, and I'm thrilled to be here with you again.
And hi, everyone. Mark here. We're super excited for today's episode because we'll talk about daily English practices.
That's right. Today, we're going to focus on two very common situations you'll likely encounter: shopping for clothes and ordering food at a restaurant.
All right, let's kick things off with shopping for clothes.
Okay, let's imagine a scenario. You are a customer and I am a shopping assistant. You walk into a clothing store.
Okay, action.
Hello there. Welcome to our store. Are you being helped today?
Oh, hello. No, thank you. I'm just browsing for now.
All right, please take your time. Let me know if you need anything at all.
Excuse me, could you help me, please?
Of course. What can I help you with?
I'm looking for a t-shirt, maybe a casual one, for everyday wear.
Certainly. We have a great selection over here. What style are you thinking of? Long-sleeved, short-sleeved? Any particular color?
Short-sleeved, and maybe blue or green, something like that.
Okay, we have these blue ones and these green ones. What about this light blue one? It's very popular.
Oh, yes, that's nice. Do you have it in a size medium?
Let me check. Yes, we do. Here you go.
Great. And how much is this one?
It's $25.
$25. Okay. Do you have anything a bit cheaper? Maybe on sale?
Let's see. Ah, yes. We have these on sale. They are $15. They are similar style, but different colors. We have this gray one and this mustard yellow.
Mustard yellow. Interesting. Maybe the gray one. Can I try this one on? And also the blue one you showed me earlier, just to compare.
Absolutely. The changing rooms are just over there, behind you.
Thank you. Okay, I think I'll take the gray one then.
Excellent choice. Are you ready to pay?
Yes, please. Do you accept credit cards?
Yes, we do.
Here you go.
Thank you. Here's your receipt and your t-shirt. Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much. You too. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Shopping done? So, Mark, what were some of the key phrases we used there?
Lots of useful ones. Are you being helped? I'm just browsing. Could you help me? I'm looking for. Asking about sizes. Do you have this in a size medium?
Asking about price. How much is this? Do you have anything cheaper? Can I try this on? Where are the changing rooms? Does this look okay? And payment questions like, do you accept credit cards?
Exactly. And remember, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't understand something, just say, sorry, could you repeat that? Or, could you speak slower, please? And it's perfectly okay to say, that's a bit expensive if you think something is too pricey.
No doubt about it. Some prices are just too high these days.
Okay, next up, let's talk about ordering food at a restaurant. This is another everyday situation where English is super handy. What are some restaurant etiquette tips, Emma?
Restaurant etiquette can vary a bit, but generally being polite is key. When you enter a restaurant, you might be greeted with, how many people? Or, do you have a reservation? If you haven't booked, you can say, no, we don't. Table for 2, please. Let's imagine we are going to a cafe for lunch.
Sounds delicious. Let's go.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our cafe. How many are you?
Hello. Table for 2, please.
Certainly. Right this way. Please, have a seat. Here are your menus. I'll be back in a moment to take your drinks order. Are you ready to order drinks?
Yes, we are. I'll have a lemonade, please.
And for you?
I'll have an iced coffee, please.
Okay. 1 lemonade and 1 iced coffee. Are you ready to order food as well? Or do you need a few more minutes?
We'll order food now, please.
I'll have the chicken salad sandwich, please.
And I'll have the soup of the day. What is the soup of the day today?
Today, it's tomato soup.
Tomato soup sounds good. I'll have the tomato soup, please.
Okay, so that's 1 chicken salad sandwich and 1 tomato soup. Anything else?
No, thank you. That's all for now.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. I'll bring your drinks right away and your food will be out shortly. Here are your drinks, and here's your chicken salad sandwich and your tomato soup. Enjoy your meal.
Thank you very much. Excuse me.
Yes, is everything all right?
Yes, the soup is lovely, thank you. Could we have some more bread, please?
Of course, no problem. I'll bring some over right away.
Excuse me, could we have the bill, please?
Certainly, just 1 moment. Here you are. How would you like to pay?
We'll pay by card.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.
Goodbye.
Delicious, and lots of useful phrases again. Table 4, do you have a reservation? Can we see the menu? What's the soup of the day? Could we have some more bread? Can we have the bill?
Exactly. And remember, it's okay to ask questions about the menu. What's this dish? Or, could you explain this, please? And if you have any allergies or dietary requirements, be sure to mention them when you order. For example, I'm allergic to nuts, or I'm vegetarian. So there you have it. We've covered shopping and restaurants, 2 essential daily English scenarios. We hope you liked them.
Remember, practice makes perfect. Try role-playing these situations with a friend or even just to yourself. The more you practice, the more natural and comfortable you'll become. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's all part of the learning process.
Absolutely, Mark. Join us next time for more English learning tips and tricks.
Happy practicing, everyone, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye for now.
What do you think about the podcast, Lisa?
It was a lovely podcast. I loved the parts about shopping and ordering food.
Me too. I picked up handy phrases like, do you have this in a medium?
And in the restaurant section, what's the soup of the day? Was super useful.
Exactly. It's a great way to practice everyday English.
Totally. I can't wait for the next episode. All right, let's start our podcast. What are the words today, Eric?
The first word today is thrilled. Then we will continue with to encounter and to vary. Then kick off something. And the final one is no doubt about it.
Let's start with the first word.
The first word is thrilled.
Thrilled.
Thrilled is an adjective. It means very happy or excited about something. If you are thrilled, you feel great joy.
Yes. For example, when I got a birthday surprise from my friends, I was thrilled. It made me so happy.
Yes, Lisa. This word is super expressive and can add a lot of emotion to your sentences. When we use thrilled, we are talking about a strong feeling of joy and excitement. It is a way to express that something has made you really happy. Here's another example. Emma was thrilled to hear that she got the job. This means Emma was very happy and excited because she got a new job.
Another example. The children were thrilled to see the fireworks. This means the children felt super excited and happy when they saw the beautiful fireworks.
Thrilled is often used with to or about. For example, I'm thrilled to meet you, or she is thrilled about her new car. Thrilled is a great word to use when something makes you really happy and excited.
That's right. Okay, well, I think now our listeners understand the word thrilled better. Now, let's move on to our next phrase.
The next word is encounter.
Encounter.
Encounter is a verb that means to meet someone or something, often by chance. For example, I encountered an old friend at the park. This means I met my old friend unexpectedly.
And another example. She encountered a problem while cooking. This shows that encounter can also mean experiencing a problem or difficulty without planning for it.
Exactly. When we say encounter, we talk about meeting people, things, or events without expecting them. It is used to describe a surprise meeting or experience.
For example, I encountered a problem while studying. They encountered many interesting people on their trip.
Remember, encounter is mostly used in more formal or written English, but you can still use it in daily conversation.
Yes, it adds a bit of color to your story when you talk about unexpected meetings or experiences.
It is a useful word in many everyday situations.
Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the word encounter better. Now, let's move on to our next word.
The next phrase is to vary.
To vary.
To vary is a verb. It means to change or be different in different situations.
Oh, so if something varies, it doesn't always stay the same?
Exactly. For example, the weather varies from day to day. That means today it might be sunny, but tomorrow it could be rainy.
Got it. So can I say, the prices of fruits vary in different stores?
Yes, that's a great example. The price of apples might be $1 in one shop and $2 in another.
Nice. What about this? My mood varies depending on the time of day.
Perfect. That means sometimes you feel happy and other times may be tired or serious.
So, does vary always mean small changes, Eric?
Not always. Changes can be small or big. For example, the sizes of t-shirts vary from small to extra large. That's a big difference.
I see. And is it formal or informal?
You can use vary in both formal and informal situations. It's a common word in everyday English.
Vary is a useful word to talk about things that change or are different in different situations. Okay, well, we've explained to vary pretty enough. Shall we move on to the next word?
Let's do that. The next word is to kick off.
To kick off.
To kick off is a phrasal verb. It means to start something, especially an event, a game, or a meeting. For example, if you say, let's kick off the meeting at 10 a.m., it means the meeting will start at that time.
Nice. And I've heard kickoff used in sports too. Like in soccer or American football, the game starts with a kickoff.
Exactly. In sports, the kickoff is the first play of the game. That's where the phrase originally comes from. Over time, people started using kickoff to mean start in other situations too.
That makes sense. Are there any other ways we can use to kick off?
Yes, and we can also use kick off for other things, not just sports. For example, let's kick off the meeting with a quick update.
So in this case, it means to start the meeting.
That's right. And here's another example. The concert kicked off with a great song.
That means the first song started the concert. So it's just another way to say begin. Can we use it in both formal and informal situations?
To kick off is usually more informal. In a business setting, people might say begin or start instead. But in casual conversation, to kick off works well. For example, let's kick off the weekend with a fun movie night.
Got it. Okay, well, let's move on to the last word. What is the last word, Eric?
The last word is no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it is a way to say that something is completely certain or absolutely true. It's used when you strongly agree with something or when you want to emphasize a fact.
Oh, I get it. So if someone says, "This is the best pizza in town," I can reply, "No doubt about it," to show that I totally agree.
Exactly. It's a great way to confirm something with confidence. You'll often hear it in conversations when people want to express strong agreement. Here's an example. Amber is the best singer in our class. No doubt about it. This means we are completely sure that Amber is the best singer.
Got it. Are there any variations of this phrase?
Yes. People sometimes shorten it to just no doubt. For example, if someone says, "She's an amazing singer," you can simply reply, "No doubt." It has the same meaning, but is even more casual.
Oh, that's good to know. And it's great for agreeing with someone strongly. For example, "This cake is delicious." No doubt about it.
No doubt about it is a fixed phrase, so we don't change its form. You can use it alone or in a sentence.
Okay. Well, that's it for today's episode of Simply Explained English. We hope you found the words helpful and the explanations easy to understand.
Thanks for listening. Keep studying your English.
And stay tuned. Bye for now.